Someone asked about taking notes and how to recognize, designate, and store notes in Logos Bible software. This is how I take notes, and this is how it works for me. Let's say, for instance, I have here now the English Standard Version, King James, New Revised Standard, and the Lexham English Bible open. And I have them all linked to link set A, so that as I scroll along, each set moves along with that scroll. And over to the right here, I have my notes window. Let me get rid of one of these. I have my notes window. And one of the ways that I take notes of what best works for me is I click on this little icon right here, which is an open and close the sidebar. And what I'd like to do is I like to create a notebook for whatever topic or whatever book I'm studying. So I click on the notebooks icon, and as you can see here, I have notebooks. All of these are notebooks on whatever subject or whatever book of the Bible that I'm studying. And housed in each one of these notebooks are various notes. As you can see here under 1 Corinthians, you can see that I have 18 notes. Under Angel's Topical Study, you can see that I have 27 notes. So if I click on that, then it opens up, or it gives me access to all of the notes that I've created on that particular notebook. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to just go back to all, and I want to go back to filters, reset it to filters, and I want to show you how I do this. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the window full window here. So what I do is click on this icon, and it just gives me a full window without the filters and the notebook icons. Now, as I let's just say, for instance, I want to make a note on verse 5 of Acts 6 verse 5, and particularly on a man full of faith and the Holy Spirit. So as I highlight that, notice that this little dialog box comes up, and so I'll click on my add note. And as I click on add note, what you'll see is that it gives me my little note indicator here, and it also gives me the note indicator here in the King James. For some reason, it creates two note indicators in the King James Version, but also in the New Revised Standard, it creates a note indicator, and in the Lexham English Bible, it creates a note indicator. Why does it do that? Because in my visual filters, I have set it to, when I go to my notes and highlights, well, let's just do this. What I have selected is notes and highlights corresponding. So I have this set in each one of these windows, notes and highlights corresponding. Notes and highlights corresponding in each one of my translations. I have that resource checked. So that's why that note indicator is showing up in each one of these translations that I have open. And again, as I said, I have 4 translations open. So that's how I use my notes and notebooks, again, by clicking on the open and close sidebar, your filter indicator, and your notebook indicator. So clicking on the notebook indicator. Now that I've made a note on Acts 6 and 5, a man full of the Spirit, let me just again make that window full. as I've created a note on Acts 6 and 5, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit, what I'm going to do now is, let's go back as well. I've already done this. What I'm going to do now is go to my set notebook, and I'm going to scroll down to Acts, and I'm going to click on Acts. So now that note, whatever I write here in that note, is added to that notebook, to the my Acts notebook. And let's just say, for instance, I want to add something in verse 6. I want to add verse 6 to this particular note in Acts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simply highlight this. Rather than create another note, I'm just going to highlight verse 6. And now I'm going to say add anchor point, and it's going to add selected text. So I'll just go done, and it automatically adds the selected text. I didn't create a new note. I just simply went add. Selected text. Add an anchor point to the selected text, and therefore, what it did was it indicates, or it brings in that particular selected text into that particular note. Okay. And this works no matter what resource you're in, whether it be a Bible translation or whether it be a commentary, a lexicon, whatever window you have active. If you highlight anything in that window and add an anchor point, whatever you have selected or whatever your selected text is will be added to that particular to your active note. So that's how I'm using the notes and notebooks. And again, in my Acts notebook, I can go here and create any amount of notes or notebooks that I want to create here. So if I'm studying demonology, if I'm studying discipleship, divine counsel, worldview notes, I can simply go to those notes and go to that note and add that particular those particular notes to that notebook, just simply by choosing that notebook. But again, this was a note created in Acts, so I'm going to keep it in the book of Acts. So just a quick review. In order to have your note indicators to show up in each translation that you have open, you'll need to go to your visual filters, and you'll need to scroll down to notes and highlights. Notes and highlights corresponding, you'll need to have that checked in each one of your open translations in order for those note indicators to appear in your studies.